Like Arizona, blowing them 3-5s. I'm missing all my amigos on this Cinco RIP 5. Even when I'm hurt, I tell myself that I'm gonna be fine. I feel just like a shot.
Yo, and welcome back to the garden, Rello Mellow Garden. It's your boy, we back down here. Today, we are going to be getting some soil prepped so that we can pop off these new beans. As y'all know, we had got some from Legacy Leaf Seed Co. here. Gonna go ahead and grow them out, at least some of them. Not exactly sure on the upload date just yet for this new batch that we're about to have going, or what day it'll be consistently updated. That is, this should be out today. But if you don't know, our Spider Farmer Grow, you can catch on Saturdays, usually around 9. Of course, we've got our basic 2x4 grow. These are Thursdays, usually around 9. 2 grows we got going now, plus our outdoor grow, which will be on Tuesdays, every 2 to 3 weeks. We now gonna have another little series coming. As we start vegging these out, we've now got 2 tents in flower. The outdoor should be in flower within a couple weeks, maybe 3 at the most. So yeah, it's gonna be about time we get these popped. And I have decided, I believe, to just run 2 of these at a time right now. All right, and we'll come in here again, Legacy Leaf Seed Co. Shout out to Resquisite. Hit me up, sent me the seeds. If y'all didn't see the little unpackaging and initial rundown we did of each seed, that's how we came about them. And I've decided the first 2 we're gonna try out of these 4 is the C40 here and this Baba Jenkins. And we'll go into the reasoning behind it now. See the C40 here. Come over here to this little data about it. And if we come down, you can see it's got an 8 to 9 week flowering time. And it's kind of a bushy structured plant, so probably won't be as tall or stretchy. And it is an indica leaning hybrid. So then we can come grab the Baba Jenkins. And why we want to pair it with that, come back on in here. If we look, it's also indica leaning hybrid. It could potentially take a little longer, but 8 to 10 weeks. If we harvest them both around week 9, it'll probably be good. And you can see here it's got that more of a bushy structure as well. So there'll be 2 plants that kind of complement each other. Probably easier to keep the canopy under control and all that. Similar flowering times. So it makes sense to run these 2 together in the same tent, since, you know, ideally you want everything to kind of run at the same pace. Which then, if we were to come look at the Rocky Boris right here and the Dolores, you see the Dolores is a little longer flowering time, 9 to 11 weeks, and it's a tall plant, as you can see there. Sativa leaning, I think, to the Rocky Boris. And the flowering time isn't too far from the other ones, but it does seem like it might be a little stretchy, so it might get a little tall if we look in there. So we'll save those 2 to run together. And right now we got the C40 and the Baba Jenkins. Now before we get to planting those, we got to come mess with the soil and whatnot. So right here, it's about 4 gallons ish of soil. We are going to add about 1.5 gallons worth of worm castings to that little base there. And then we're gonna add maybe around a gallon or so of perlite, just to kind of rebound that, because this is recycled and recycled and recycled soil, so naturally the stuff kind of degrades, breaks down, because you be watering, getting all that throughout the rows. So we're just kind of going to try to build it back up a bit, make it good to run again. All right, here we have about 1.5 gallons worth of worm castings. Again, there they are. And that's going to help add, obviously, a little bit of nitrogen to the soil. It'll help kind of restructure it a bit, add on to the structure since it's broken down over so many uses. As well as bring back some bacteria since we did sterilize the soil. Go ahead and dump that on in there. There those are on top. Now we're gonna move on to the perlite. And there we go, about an equal amount of perlite as worm castings that we added. It is good to use a mask when handling this stuff. Right, y'all can see that's mixed up. Real important to be real thorough with it. Make sure you're getting the bottom layers up to the top layers down to the bottom, and sort of cycling it. And you can see, you can just tell that it obviously has a lot more perlite in there compared to what it did. It's gonna make drainage a lot better, structure, and kind of bulks it up the way you use less soil. But next step, since that soil is gonna be still fairly depleted, the worm castings, of course, will provide a little bit of nitrogen and good microbes, helps the structure. But we want a little bit more than that. So, I know I like these Espoma products. Went out and got another bag of our plant tone. See the old one down there. We are going to come through, and first, we're going to do about 4 tablespoons of our biotone right here. You can see the mycorrhizae in it. It's good for starting plants. Plus all those different beneficial bacterias. Humic acids is good. And it's got a good NPK ratio for veg with cannabis. Probably gonna go with about 12 tablespoons of this plant tone to start. It's very similar. A lot of good stuff in here. And this stuff should probably get us through the first few weeks of veg, everything that's going in here. And we might just do a tablespoon or 2 of this tomato tone. We're gonna have to go top up on this too, it's getting low. But it's just mainly for the calcium. A few other beneficial things in there. We'll go heavier on the tomato tone the closer we get to flower, but this is mainly to get veg kick started. And since it's all organic and kind of takes a little bit to break down, the soil will still be cool enough for seedlings. And by the time they're really ready to kick off the veg state, then this stuff will be getting ready to be released to them. All right, we got it all added. About 1.5, maybe 2 tablespoons of the tomato tone, 8 of the plant tone, 4 of the biotone. Should make this nice and well calibrated again. A good NPK, a little bit of micronutrients, all that good stuff. Fungus, and bacteria should all get reestablished back in there. And the last thing I wanted to try was using some of this azomite that I picked up, just to get maybe some trace minerals back in there. I'm gonna go real low with the amount that I use. It says 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon. All right, that's everything mixed up. And I did a real low ball of this, I only did about a tablespoon. It says 1 to 2 per gallon. Again, I don't got much experience with it. I just did figure after as many times as we've recycled this soil, it might be good to bring some trace or micronutrients back to it. Now, we're gonna fill up these pots. Hopefully that's about at least enough for 6, should be. And we'll move on from there. All right, now we will return to our seat. All right, and now we've got all of these labeled. We've got our C40 up front, plus this one. We'll do 4 of the C40s. And then the Baba Jenkins is in the back. It'll get 3 popped. We'll start with the C40. There, y'all can see all 5 seeds of it. And with this run, we are just gonna go directly into the soil. Sometimes we'll let these sit in a cup of water for a day or 2 before I drop them in. But this also works. And we pretty much usually have 90 to 100% germination rates. Don't usually have a problem with it. And you can see they don't need to be buried very deep at all. Also, you want to make sure that your soil is a little pre-moistened before doing this, because we're going to water them in. And if the soil was dry, then it would flush the seed somewhere deep down into the medium, which can be annoying. You might never find it again. Got our C40s planted, all 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have the Baba Jenkins out here. We're gonna come plant those. All right, 3 Baba Jenkins, 4 of the C40. All planted, all labeled. Our last step will be, I guess we should probably test the pH of. So what we've done here is made a little slurry to test where maybe the pH of our soil was sitting. We took some of that water out the bucket there, the white bucket, about 6 ounces worth. That water was around a 6.5. Now we mixed about the same amount of soil in here, stirred it a bit, and we'll drop this in. I think it might just be slightly higher than we want it. Went up to a 6.6 there. We should be good as long as this doesn't start creeping upwards as the grow continues. If it does, we'll have to go find something to deal with that. Now we can just use this little bit of this slurry to water in our seeds. We'll have to clean out our little cup. But that should be good to get these going. We could add some humidity domes on top of these, which I might come and do, but I'd have to go look for them. So for now, I'm gonna just leave them like this. Just remember not to let it dry out. So I could come and mist it if it did seem to be getting dry. But other than that, that is gonna wrap up this video. We've got new seed started, a good batch of soil mixed, little setup space. Went over all of that. Get your trace minerals and micronutrients back in there. Proper NPK ratios for veg, plus beneficial bacteria and mycorrhizae. This here's got bacteria and the calcium boost, and just a slight little booster for it. And yeah, that stuff should, as it sits there, continue to kind of wake up with the microbes. We can start feeding it sugars or compost teas here throughout the grow, and should have a nice little veg running here. But for now, they germinate in veg here. That light's on like 20%. I'll have to measure the distance, but it should be good. We're hoping with all these saturated pots in this small area, if we were to close down this little makeshift cover we got here, that it might create like a microclimate where the humidity is a lot higher here, high 60s, low 70s. And that should be good to get those seeds started. As y'all know, if you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, entertained it at all, do leave us a like. It'll be greatly appreciated. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with your boy. Age restrictions have been kicking our ass lately. Videos not really getting pushed out there, so do remember we upload 9 o'clock Thursdays, 9 o'clock Saturdays. We upload roughly every 2 to 3 Tuesdays. And then every once in a while we could have some side videos like this that might come out Fridays and Mondays. Of course, make sure to subscribe, see how we do with these right here. Again, shout out to Legacy Leaf Seed Co. We've got our basic 2x4 grow right there. And of course our Spider Farmer grow. That one is updated Thursdays. We got Saturdays, outdoors, or the ones on Tuesdays. And yeah, we've got another installment here in Rello Mellow Garden. And we out.